Morning. What's going on, y'all? This morning we're gonna talk. What's the title? I'm not sure what the title will be, but we'll talk black and white. Let's talk black and white. Now, you guys say black and white. I say Caucasian and carbonated beings. Because if I had to go down the list of nationalities of the Caucasian race and the carbonated race, that'd probably take up half of the video. You know, Africans are not the same as the Jamaicans. The Jamaicans aren't the same as the Haitians. The Haitians not the same as the Hebrew. So on and so forth for both. Alright? You got the Irish, the German, the Italian. You know, but far as the skin complexion goes and the coloration of skin, we'll say the Caucasian race and we'll say the carbonated race. Alright? So, again, one has been taught that they're superior over the other. And there's one that knows different. And I guess it's safe to say that maybe that's not a great way to start it off, but let's just talk from experience and put it out there. And again, one has been indoctrinated, that's a better word, indoctrinated, to think that they're superior over the other, and that would be the ones that call themselves the white race, to the point that they not only reap the benefits of what was done prior or what was done in the history books, but it's to the point that they don't even realize they're doing it. They don't even realize, you know, again, and you know what, I'm not gonna, like I just said, you know, we're not gonna water it down. It's not that they don't realize they're doing it. I think they think that most of us are ignorant, because if you were to ask the majority of the white race, say, hey, would you like to be treated like how the blacks are being treated, you know, in the past, or even to this very date, year to date, you know what I mean? They'll say no. So that automatically tells you right there that something is wrong. Something is wrong. How is it you can go on this part of town and things are this way, okay? And you go in this part of town, things are that way. Like, what's going on? You know, so in other words, if you, let's just take Atlanta for an example. If you go to certain places in Atlanta or certain areas, you'll see that this is for the privileged. The restaurants, it's safe to say the cleanliness, and here you are with another group of people who just flat out been given the short end of the stick, and all of what I'm talking about, this is very basic. I'm not trying to make it too complex. I'm not trying to be, you know, politically correct. Now, if I was in a debate, I mean, I guess that would be the classy thing to do, to be politically correct. But for the most part, like I say, most whites been indoctrinated to think that they're superior and that their way is the way, and I personally think it's nonsense. I mean, you have so-called upstanding citizens. Oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I know the Bible, the Lord, but then will mistreat their fellow man, or won't even take the stand to say, you know what we're doing is wrong. I know that is wrong. You know, I have morals, you know, principles. Nah, I mean, it's like every man for himself, you know, and again, it's an incentive in it for them. It's a benefit. I mean, it's to the point where most Asians, they haven't experienced slavery for the hundreds of years that the carbonated beings have, but it's to the point that they even been indoctrinated to think that the white way is the right way. Meaning a lot of them, they don't even want slanted eyes anymore. I mean, they don't even have a slave master to say, hey, look, I'm gonna pass on my last name to you. They just willingly do it. Okay, so if their name is Zing Zang, or or Yin Yang, we'll just say Yin Yang. They would change it to Christopher. They would change it to Jonathan. And they would, go with a rather cool alias to fit in. And it's like, what does that tell you? I mean, what does that tell you? So, I mean, here we are as most carbonated beings, still finding our way, trying to find what was lost, or no, not lost, that was stolen, and in some cases destroyed, meaning our heritage, our names, just again, our culture, all of the above. We've been robbed blind out here, and again, basically, just a disease-stricken people at this point. And when I say disease-stricken, to the point that, ignorance is taking us down more so than ever. And when I say ignorance is taking us down, there is a lid, meaning, okay, we only allow you guys to get but so far before we intervene. When you look at a lot of the creations that come from the carbonated being, when you look at a lot of the art, again, we've been robbed, it's been stolen. I mean, look at the different genres of music. I mean, and I can name for days. I mean, from, again, a lot of what we created and a lot of what we started has been taken. We have been robbed. You're not going to sit here and tell me, let's just take one of the latest art forms, hip-hop. I mean, like if not number one, number two at one point in time, like number one, when it comes to entertainment in the world, and here it is, we don't have no share, we don't have no stock in what we created. Something is wrong with that. You're not going to tell me that we are that ignorant to not know, to have stock in something we created. So again, I think a lot of this racism, you have to have power to execute. With racism, is one thing to be prejudiced or biased, but to be racist, I mean, you definitely have to have the power to execute, for it to withstand. And right now, it's clear. I mean, even with having a carbonated president in office, I mean, people did, the whites, they did as much as they can to stop this guy from succeeding in his attempt. They never once said, you know what? If he's there to make this place a better place, we're all for it. That's not what they're saying. I mean, and like I say, it's very obvious, but I think most of them want us to catch them in an act. Because, oh no, I'm not racist. I have a few black friends. I talk to blacks. I treat everybody equal. No, you don't. You've been indoctrinated, most of you. And you just don't realize it until you have someone to tell you to your face and even point out and highlight examples on how you exercise racism, which most of you guys do. All right, and again, like I said, this is just part one. And if you wish to create a dialogue, justify your point or your ways, feel free to comment, feel free to like. And like I say, let's create a dialogue. And I would like to leave you guys, if you haven't. If you guys are not familiar with the blue eye, brown eye, I think that was an awesome experiment, as well as experience for most people who don't think that they're racist. You probably think you're not racist, but until you go through with the experiment, blue eye, brown eye. In fact, you guys could Google if you're not familiar with Jane Elliott, all right? And I thought that was a wonderful way to get people to see that, hey, look, you're a knucklehead, because, and you know what, I apologize. I'm not going to say knucklehead. You're indoctrinated, all right? You've been fed some hogwash, and you thinking this is just the way of the world, when in actuality it's not. You know, we've been telling you guys for hundreds of years. We sung songs. You know, we painted pictures. I mean, we done told you in every way we possibly can. And then when your own kind of highlighted for you and say, hey, look, you know, we're some knuckleheads. So look, we've been indoctrinated to act as knuckleheads. You know, something has to change. You know, this has to change. Then most of you guys, you know, wouldn't want to do it because, like I say, most of you reap the benefits of this whole indoctrinated, you know, to think that you're the superior race, to think that you're better. And like I say, I mean, come on. I mean, real quick, let's take the Jesus scenario. Blue eyes, blonde hair, the guy that looks sad who you guys depict to be Jesus. But if you're so much of a Christian and upstanding Catholic, you know, of any of the Christian branches or limbs, your Bible would tell you hair like wool, all right, bronze feet. So what does that have to do with being Caucasian or white or pale? It has nothing to do with that. But again, you guys, you know, want to believe the lie. You guys, most of you guys benefit from the lie and the indoctrination. And this is where we are. So when you guys hear carbonated people say blue-eyed devil, this is why most carbonated people are convinced you guys are the evil one. This is why, because you guys would live a lie and know that it's a lie and still try to perpetuate the existence of the lie. So with telling the lie, you guys have to continuously tell more in order for it to upstand and for it to hold weight. So it's a lie after lie after lie after lie. And again, like you just like William Cooper once said, if you place the truth on top of a mountain of lies, that mountain will crush from the weight of the truth. So that's what you guys are afraid of. That's what you guys been running from for years. To the point we're going to continue to remind you, and we're not going anywhere. All right, so find your best scientists. All right, even if you go through with your eugenics, you know, we're trying to destroy the truth. All right, meaning the carbon being. You know, you guys will not succeed. I would like for you guys to find your best scientists and tell me, how do you destroy energy? How? So again, let's create a dialogue. I think many of you guys should smell the coffee. And again, the blue eye, brown eye experiment from Jane Elliott. If you aren't familiar with it, you know, Google it, maybe YouTube it, maybe do some research, and quit playing this lie game, because you guys are only lying to yourself. We're in the 21st century, and most of you guys still perpetuating the existence of a fat lie, all right? So again, like I say, I'll be here all day. We'll just do a part 2 from the stealing of the culture, the name, the being breastfed from blacks. I mean, you guys, like, come on, man. Like, again, we don't like the colors, or we don't like the blacks, but then you have black nannies, you know, and servants. I mean, come on, like, a lot of it doesn't make sense at all. And you guys, most of you guys know it, but once you feel the weight of that truth, that's what it is you guys are afraid of. And like I say, I can't emphasize it enough. So again, this is part 1. We'll do a 2B continue. All right, so there you have it, the whole black and white. And even so, if it was instigated, you guys should see that it's something terribly wrong. So, all right, leave your comment. You know, again, speak your piece. Freedom of speech. There you have it, part 1. Back to the grind. Slavery.